input is so quiet, dude.
That was bad.
My ears are bleeding.
Good, what's up, fellas? It's the Wise Guys Corner. We have a mission for tonight, and that's to make the episode half as long as the setup for the episode was. Because we just spent a solid hour.
And twice as epic as Avengers Endgame.
Most ambitious crossover ever.
Ironically, everything I touch that is tech pretty much just breaks.
In music, yeah, I've noticed that.
Everything I touch turned to gold. They call me Midas.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas.
Here we are, back with episode 2?
We'll see.
2 now.
We'll call it 2.5.
2.5.
There's a lost episode that's it's sunk to the ocean
The lost
floor,
city.
if you will.
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's actually do something we didn't do last time, which was introduce ourselves, because I realized we just started out 4 dudes talking over each other, and that's gonna be even more confusing.
As a first vocalist, I will start.
The whiniest voice
My
you will
name
hear.
is Tyler. Anyway, my name. Got ya. It's you boy. It's you man. It's you dudes. It's Joey Piss. It's Joey.twmf. It's Joey D. It's Joey 2-timer. It's Soup. You know me. You know where I've been. You know what I've done.
Dude, I love how you threw all those out there and not even one real name. Like, you have Joe. Incredible. That's how you know he's good at his craft, ladies and gentlemen. He has so many aliasi.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
He falls around.
WWE Radio.
Live from the stupidest channel, TWMF.
It Falls featuring Tyler H.
Toyota
Tom Paul Learman. The Wrath of a Gentleman. Nathan King.
I pick a rat.
I ran out of songs we've done.
Get your tickets now before they're sold out.
And
Featuring Holland Larry.
And I'm Paul. I'm Paul. And then
And that's it, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
Really appreciate
This
it.
has been a Wise Guys Corner
this has been a mistake.
with Joey Piss, Joey 2-timer.
My name.
Now we're just Josh and it's
My
Joe, Paul,
name-
Nathan, Tyler,
My name is Tyler.
and that's Tyler. And what's your name again? I forgot it.
Tyler.
No, not you. Yeah, you.
That's kind of a hot name, dude.
I'm talking to Nathan. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Nathan.
Yeah, what's up, boy?
Nathan, we got Nathan Skyping in today with us from Los Angeles. He had a helicopter fly him out to Los Angeles. He's in the studio.
Yeah,
writing our next
They
album.
let like a group of 4 backpackers die in the forest because they had to reroute the helicopter to bring Nathan to the studio.
You guys ever read the book Hatchet? It's kind of like
Dude.
it's kind of like that.
Hatchet, it never crashed, and yeah, everybody else crashed.
I remember in the Hatchet books, there was only one swear word, and it was damn. And I was shitting my pants in 5th grade over
and I
it.
was crapping my pants, Joe.
crapping my pants. and then in the movie, they swore all the time. And
Wait, there was a movie?
There was a movie. It was bad, but like when you're in 5th grade and hearing shit and piss and damn left and right, you're like,
And that's when Joey.Piss was born.
dude.
I had to ask my parents for permission to say crap when I was in 4th grade.
Oh, dude,
I was
my
like,
mom
am I
would-
allowed to say crap, dude?
My mom wouldn't let me say butt. It was too vulgar.
Dude, Joe, your mom, when we met you, your mom was like, I don't want to say completely didn't trust you, but it was a very different
She
relationship
completely
you
didn't
had.
trust me.
Like I remember
Shut up.
the first couple times we hung out with you, you had to like meet the parents of the people's houses you were going to chill.
She had to have a full conversation with her parents, which, like, well, that's fine, you know. I didn't want to hang around any rock and rollers, if you know what I mean. None of those guys. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's like it's great until the screaming stuff starts, and then you just can't understand what they're talking
Joe, is this something I can bring up on air here with the iPod changing all the names? You little manipulative son of a
that's a
gun.
fun-
Dude, that's a fun one. So Tyler brings up a classic Joey Piss story. And back when I was a kid...
It's part of Joey Pistery, really.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, my mom was like very like protective of what I watched and listened to. So I had this scratching desire for some rock and roll, like good old Bullet for My Valentine, stuff like that. So
The devil got his grasp on Joe, didn't it, as a little
Early
kid.
age.
got me by the foothold and he's not letting go.
King 810, is that you, bro?
So I would take like Bullet for My Valentine and like AFI songs and like rename them to like Newsboys in the Belly of the Whale.
It was just all actually VeggieTales soundtrack songs. You had like 700 songs on your iPod, and it's all VeggieTales.
VeggieTales 1, VeggieTales 2, VeggieTales 3.
Outtakes, VeggieTales credits.
What was that one?
Hairbrush. Where's my hairbrush?
No, the other big Larry.
Reliant
hit.
K.
No. What's the big Larry the Cucumber hit? What is it, Nathan?
Oh no, I was thinking Newsboys.
Oh, no. What's the Larry the Cucumber song where he's just like a Barbara Manatee?
Oh yeah, it's called Barbara Manatee.
Right. No.
What's that one about grandma getting run over by a reindeer?
Not that one.
That was
It's not
VeggieTales
that
as
one.
well. I remember learning that in church.
Yeah, Where's My
Anyway.
Hairbrush was a big time
Dude,
banger.
where is my hairbrush? Oh, dude, that shit had me bricked up when I was
No
4.
doubt. I mean, the parallels to classic Italian opera are just unmissable with Larry's early material.
VeggieTales saved my life.
VeggieTales ended my
It makes me
cousin's life,
think
so
of,
watch
I was. Oh my!
It makes me think of that scene in American Psycho.
My cousin was an avocado, dude. They killed him off in season 2.
He's gone.
Do you remember the Italian mobster pair?
The Italian scallion.
Oh, right. That's what they called it.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 words that rhyme with scallion, and they nabbed it.
I just choked.
Oh, Morty! Oh, get the sauce, Morty!
Oh my gosh. Gosh, I just took that down to way
Do you
too
like
quick.
VeggieTales, Paul? I wasn't too big on their early work, but when Larry the Cucumber came on the scene with Barbara Manatee in 2002, I thought they really defined themselves with their sound. Hey, Paul! Try getting a reservation! What was that? The drive-thru where the little pair sang his song? You know what I'm he's like the Italian. No, he's Hispanic. It was mad racist. I wish I could think of the name of that restaurant. Try getting a reservation, you stupid fucking bastard.
Oh my gosh.
You know, it's funny you say that, though, because I learned this courtesy of my housemate Mogi, who was on the Lost episode. VeggieTales was sold to a Mormon organization.
I knew that. Yeah.
So when you say their earlier stuff slapped, it's true. Like the earliest stuff did have Sunday morning values, Saturday morning fun. And then the Mormons corrupted it. And also they changed the animation
Actually,
style.
I'm pretty sure it got bought back by.
It did.
It did.
Yeah.
It wound back up in God's hands, but for a while
Amen. Amen.
it lost its way for a second.
Dude,
It was
what
like,
was that?
Bible man.
Bible Man slap, dude. Oh my god.
You know,
I
there's
was
like.
like,
Sorry. go ahead.
Bible Man Live, and I was like, first of all, I was like a huge like superhero kid growing up. Like, the biggest thing was Power Rangers. I was like all about them. Like anybody who's like an action hero, whatever, didn't care. It was like the best thing ever. And so my parents were like, "Oh, well, Bible Man, let's take him to this. This is like right."
You
up his
got
alley."
a lightsaber?
Yeah. And I was like, I went and saw him perform live. It was so cool. I was like sold the whole time. And then like at the very end, he's like, remember, you can't trust like blah, blah, blah. You can't trust blah, blah. You can't trust the Power Rangers. The only person you can trust is God. And I was like, he lost me right there. Just then. I was like,
Nathan turned his back
what
on
did the Power
religion
Rangers ever
forever.
do?
Yeah.
Nathan, swear to God, we were probably at the same Bible Man Live showing in Indianapolis, dude. That shit was gas.
dude, it was great.
And then Bible Man had a meet and greet where he was signing Bibles. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh
He had a meet and greet, though.
Signing actual swords of righteousness, dude.
It's like the cover is just like Bible Man. He writes his actual actor name.
All he does is write man after the title Bible on every one of them. Dude, what's funny though is like I feel like we've had a weird amount of times that our paths almost crossed before the band. Like we figured out years after the fact that like Joe, you and I were like on the swim team at Frankfurt like around the same time, or like we
And-
swam.
Not only that, but we also were both at the Johnny Appleseed showing during 9/11. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
No.
You were there too.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god,
Oh my gosh.
Yo, dude, I forgot about that one because also you and I went to the
kidding
same
me?
grade school for
Yes,
like a year.
Christian Heritage, yeah.
Yeah, Frankfurt Christian Heritage, which shut down.
Joe, were you there with Central?
I think I was there with Christian Heritage.
It would have almost had to been FCHS because I was in like
That is so
That
crazy.
first grade.
What the heck? I hadn't realized this until now, dude.
yeah, was it like Beef and Boards or some place
Yes,
in Indy?
yeah,
Yeah.
like,
So on 9/11, Joey.Piss and I were at the same place.
And
Tyler,
me, apparently.
Tyler.
And T. And on
Literally-
the intermission of the show was when people were talking about like, oh, terrorists hijacked a plane. And I remember there was a girl in my class that told me that. And I said, what does hijacked mean? She said, I don't know.
I was in first
And
grade.
I was like, never mind that. I don't care.
Dude, I was in first grade. And yeah, they say you never forget where you were during 9/11. And that's what I always tell people. I had no freaking clue you guys were there, dude.
Dude,
that
that
freaks
is
me out.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
That's absurd. And you, like Joe, Tom, Tyler, you guys all went to high school together also.
Yeah.
And then Nathan and I went to college together. And then Cody was on Craigslist at the time that we were in
Same thing.
We bought Cody, dude.
yeah, we purchased Cody for a low price.
I don't think he's taken it down his listing yet.
Yeah.
He's still out there for
Yeah,
guitars.
he changed it from misconnections to guitarist seeking metal band. At
He's got
least now.
so many dick pics in his inbox right now.
but Craigslist dick pics, which are like laden with Trojan viruses, no other kind of Trojan. It's bad news.
How many long-standing relationships do you think came from casual encounters?
I'm scared to find out.
Going on 9 years. Just kidding.
Daggum. Dudes,
I miss those days. They took that down.
So when
Wait.
Apparently, we're North Korea now.
that you mean casual encounters or Craigslist?
Casual encounters.
I feel like Craigslist is on its way because that has been the incumbent like gig economy platform for 10 years, 15 years. And if like, I don't know if you guys have posted anything like a hiring position or tried to like buy anything there recently, but it's just spam. Like remember when the van broke down in Atlanta, we tried to sell it on Craigslist and we got like 7 spam callers in like an hour.
that was crazy. That whole day was
Thought it
crazy,
like,
man.
Been van at first. You're like, shoot, I guess like this is all gonna work out, and then it was like, nope.
Yeah.
Pretty believable, like fellas in that bunch.
It's
I
like
remember.
career scammers is what it is because they'll so Nathan, this is when you and I were living at South Jordan in Bloomington, and you know we had gotten back from that miserable tour and we were trying to sell off what was left of the van in Atlanta, and this guy hit us up. He's like, hey, I'll like send you a MoneyGram for this much money, or like a check. And he did, and he's like, oh, I accidentally sent you like $1,000 more than I should have. Can you send me back the remainder? And I was like, that's
how
a
it
weird
goes.
request.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
Yeah, but it was like a lot of that immediately too. It was like within an hour of us posting about having scrap of a van to salvage. Like, yeah, I feel like Craigslist is on its way out, man. It's like a MySpace right before it became DieSpace.
We ended up getting stuck with the lot charges on that thing, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Even though we said we were good, they said like, no, you guys are good. You can park it here without any lot fees until you end up selling it. And they pretty much screwed us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sent us an invoice. It's like it's $30 a day while it's sitting in our junkyard. So figure it out. So we just literally ended up mailing the title to the garage, and we're like, you can't
Good luck.
charge us if you own it.
Right.
Yeah. Gosh, what a
It's just been racking up ever since.
yeah. One day they're gonna like finally find us.
By the way, I mean, we got the title, but you still owe us
yeah, there's a loan shark. on its way.
$35,000.
Some guy shows up at your door and like just demands a bunch of money. I feel like you're gonna go to buy a house one day, and they're just gonna be like, "Oh, we've got this outstanding like
Yeah.
loan of balance for like $38,000."
And I'm gonna say,
Turns out-
may I introduce you to Metalcore Money? And I'm just gonna hit him with 50 and say, keep the change, bro.
It's like you still have $34,999.95.
I'll have you know, Castle in the Cloud sold dozens of copies.
There were dozens of
Gosh dang, dude.
Gosh damn.
Dude, this might be the best way to start out a podcast outside of all the technical issues. We got our boy Nathan
Yeah.
here dropped off some Panera right before he flew to Los Angeles.
Had
And
sex I was gonna say with
Great
Elvis
joke.
Presley's
Now-
daughter, but I was like, just
And you're like, no, let me make this so his grandma can't listen to this podcast anymore. Let me sabotage that for him.
love you, Miss Kane.
Like the Bible stuff wasn't like pushing it for me.
Yeah. You
But-
gotta draw the line somewhere, man.
We got some Panera, and then also I made a little bet with Joe earlier this week that if he made his profile picture on Facebook, what was the meme again? Joe, would you like to share with us?
It said something like, some people. What is it? It was something about.
Here, I'll just
pull
pull
it
it
up. Jamie, pull that shit up.
Yeah.
Pull that shit up.
That was a bit controversial, Nathan, because Tyler, he bought all the Taco Bell, but Joe kept it up there for half a day. So
Wait, did what?
Kind of sick.
you only kept that profile up there
Oh
for
no,
like 12 hours.
It was 24.
It was not a full 24, bro.
It
Because
was.
listen, I got my haircut Wednesday morning, and that was at 10 a.m. I looked the next morning, and it was down by 9 a.m. the
Dude,
next day, dude.
trump card because I set it to be a temporary profile picture for 24 hours, bitch.
Mark Zuckerberg would never lie to any of us.
No, he wouldn't.
All right, here it is. It says, some people think I'm going crazy. It's not true. I went there years ago, fell in love with the place, and decided to stay.
And it's like a picture of one of the Looney Tune Reject characters.
Pretty much.
It looks like a Smurf, but it's white. Whitewashed Smurf.
So that was my excuse to dig into some T-Bell right now.
To dig into some savings to buy a leopard.
And in fairness, it was never specified how long.
That
That's
is
why
true.
I did it for a
I was at least just hoping you'd be a good person and leave it up for 24
And
hours.
I did, Tyler, and I did.
Hey, look at
Hold
us
on a
now.
second.
We're sitting here at the Wise Guys Corner, ripping into Taco Bell. Joe brought 3 vapes
I did.
because one will not suffice for Joey.piss.
Hell no.
Joe, how would you say vaping has affected your harsh vocals?
On God, I really like when I listen back to the Castle like songs. I'm like, dude, my screams were so much better. But everyone tells me they're better now, and I'm like,
Johnny told you that straight up when we walked
I
in
know.
for the Lost City.
And I'm like, I don't see it, but like all the comments are like, well, Joe really leveled up, and I'm like, dude, my throat's on fire.
No wonder. Yeah, it's probably just like age and experience.
Yeah, I really do
Yeah.
think that. I really.
Well,
do think
dude,
that.
remember, like when you started screaming for Castle, you had only been doing that for what, like a year, 2 years?
Yeah, not even. I barely, and I remember being so fucking scared to do it in front of Johnny because I was like
Yeah.
a fanboy during the first couple days. You know what I mean?
Big
Like,
time.
well, this is the dude from Stick Stickly. That's pretty sick. So
Stickly
I,
the
I just
band?
remember thinking if I was like a year younger, I probably been like, Paul, I can't do it. Paul, don't make me do this.
I forgot how.
Can you ask him to leave? Do you know how to hit record?
Hit record and walk out of the room, please. No, but it's true though, because you initially in the band you started out playing guitar.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, right. And then you pivoted to vocals when guitar. Basically, we found
Wasn't
Cody.
working out for you, was it?
Yeah. I mean,
And
no,
Joe
it was-
just really likes to play that guitar, but
yeah. Boy, does he have fun with it. I mean, he sure has fun. But I mean, you. So what? That was like end of 2013, 2014 that you started screaming. And that's like right when we started tracking for
Yeah,
Castle was
literally.
2014 because it came out in 2015.
It literally was like less than a year for sure. Yeah.
That's crazy. I forget that, but I feel like a lot of people don't realize that it doesn't take a whole, like, you don't have to devote your life to figuring that stuff out. And actually something,
Oh, I spent a long time learning the fry noise. I'll say that.
no doubt. Yeah, absolutely. But I think a lot of people get paralysis by analysis, if you will. Like starting out, they're like, I feel like I need to at least dedicate 6 months or a year to learning this thing before I'm willing to give it an actual shot. But
No. If you set aside like, really, even if you're just like going on a drive and do it for like, I don't
Yeah.
know, like 20, 30 minutes a day.
big same. I will say probably 75% of my melodies were written in the car, dude.
It's so,
Honestly.
it's so good for thinking. Like, it's such an isolated environment. Nobody can hear you like goof up.
Yeah.
And
I won't judge an album until I've listened to it on a drive.
yes, yeah. I mean, the car test. That's like a production thing that produced like you bounce a mix. It sounds great in your studio monitors. It's like take it to the car. It sounds like hot trash.
Sounds like shit.
But I feel like this is a good segue. Craig Sanders, who
Shout outs.
Dude,
yeah, dude.
Shout out Craig Sanders. He's one of my best friends on Pokemon Go.
Dude,
Also, dude, he's been playing some Battlefront with us. We're trying to get him on Rogue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's a real one though. He's been super supportive of us for a long time. But he was saying on Twitter, just in commenting about the podcast, that we should talk about vocal tips. I feel like it'd be a good time for you guys to disclose the deep dark secrets, the way you sold your soul.
Yeah, man. I don't know what it's like for screaming stuff, but I know even for me, going into Castle, I felt very much like Joe. Had no idea what I was doing at all, dude.
I was gonna say the exact opposite, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But the more like we progressed through the albums, the more I kind of found my voice and realized how to shift from being less in my less in my throat and more in my chest and diaphragm range, dude. Cause sound like a little whiny bitch. No, but
no B, please. No B, please.
No B word. No B word, please.
No B,
Oh,
please.
As you were.
take that out. Bleep it.
Cut his mic.
But yeah, so just a couple of things that I always do when I'm getting ready for tracking is always got to warm up. I know that's kind of a given, but you can't go 0 to 100. You wouldn't want to do it with a car. You wouldn't want to do it in like any sports that you're playing, and you have to treat your voice the same way. As your throat is like a muscle pretty much, and if you don't use it fairly often, then you're gonna like that. Exactly, it's gonna sound like that after a while. But got to do vocal strengthening exercises. Try to sing like every day if you can. Singing as often as you can. Just getting your throat moving will keep it conditioned and keep it strong, just like Joe says over there. And but yeah, warming up, and then even a little warm downs, and don't go crazy when it comes time to track. Like, don't.
That's a big one.
Yeah, like people are like, I'm gonna start trying all sorts of different shit, and like start popping like cough drops and tea and all sorts of stuff. And like really all you need is like, you just need a lot of water. You just need your voice to be hydrated, your vocal cords to be hydrated. Don't be drinking teas and sugary things, especially don't be doing citrus and spices and all sorts of stuff before
coffee. This was a big. You told me this just when we were doing this playthrough to promote the instrumental of Valley. I didn't realize this, but you were saying like tea is bad. Everybody will say like drink tea. Everybody will say like drink coffee or like all this stuff.
If it's got caffeine, it's the enemy. You can't like underestimate how damaging caffeine is to your voice when you're getting ready to track. So I try to cut it out. I go probably a little extreme and like we'll just cut it out like the week before studio and then all through the studio if I know I'm like actually tracking vocals. And then I'll just literally drink water the whole time. Coffee too, for me in particular. I've talked to a lot of other vocalists. Some have the same issue. Most people, it doesn't bother them as far as the acidic side of it, but it's pretty acidic. And so like if you have issues with acid reflux, then like it could potentially come up and damage your vocal cords. If something's pretty acidic, and again, that's why like they recommend against like citrusy things and like spicy stuff as well, because it can do the same thing as basically close off your vocal cords. And so yeah, just the best thing you can do is just some lukewarm water. I've been getting into the like you just warm up some water in like a tea kettle or whatever, and then mix in some honey and just a little shot of lemon juice. You don't want it to be too hot too, because it's not great for your vocals either. But just some
lemon is citrus. You lied to the listeners.
That's like a post vocal drink. I should clarify.
My name's Tyler. I know all the vocal tips and tricks, and I sound cool and good.
Dude, roasted you, bro.
God, I hate that guy.
So that's about it for me. Just make sure to get out of your throat. Start putting some breath support behind it. Everybody's so scared to sing loud. Stop being scared to sing loud. It's not bad for you. I mean, some people are.
I feel like it's a social thing too. Like Joe was saying, it's like if you're in front of, a producer you've never met, or even your own bandmates, if they've only ever heard you in a garage band practice where it's peeking out a PA.
Yeah.
It's very vulnerable to sit in a room, literally an isolation booth, and belt, and it's like if something goes wrong, that's super visible.
Yeah.
And Nathan, I mean, while we're on cleans, like how is there stuff different or similar to what Tyler does, or how do you feel about, because you have a very different style to Tyler, but yeah
Yeah, I agree a lot with everything he's saying as far as warming up and not pushing yourself in an aggressive way or in a damaging way or anything like that. I think my way of recording is different from the way that Johnny records vocals in that I make like crazy Frankenstein phrases of every single thing. So I'll like record and then I'll be like, I really like the way that I said my like sound on that word, or I really like the way I like rounded my vowel on that word or something like that. And so I will actually push myself or like do some really crazy things that would sound like generally pretty like off-putting or unsettling or just not good. But in the context of the full recording, I'm only taking like one little piece of that. So I think it depends on like, you know, if you're doing it from a production standpoint and you're thinking of it, how you're going to build a vocal to like really sell a section versus like if you're performing live or if you're trying to sing it completely through in a clean way. I'll say that Tyler is like 100% like a way more like consistent vocalist than I am, and so that like really benefits, like he's able to show that off really well by just like playing by the rules in a way, in that way, you know what I mean? Whereas for me, I'm like, I'm gonna like, I'm not that clearly like, I can't like hold my pitch as clean as Tyler by any means, so I'm just like, I'm gonna goof off and we'll see what comes of it in the end. And
but I mean, thankfully that's how you respond to, because I remember, so some people may not know, but you did all the vocals for With My Lesser Self, which was like kind of a surprise on Castle, but like that was a weird experience, or it was cool to watch you prepare for vocals in contrast to Tyler, because a lot of your vocal takes were centered around like packing the most emotion into the take. And like I remember like you would have takes and it's like, to us on the monitoring end, it's like in the control room, it's like, sounds good, and then you'd be like, I didn't feel it, like I need like let me send it again, and really like yeah, but it's cool. I think something also, this is maybe a little cliche, but a lot of people fixate on trying to emulate somebody instead of like the old Jackie Chan, or not Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee approach, where it's like, figure out.
Dude, I won't lie, that was hardcore me during Castle, though.
Sure.
Like, a major Day to Remember vibes, like major Jeremy McKinnon vibes.
It's helpful for a starting point.
Yeah,
for sure.
It is. But then, the more you sing, the more you kind of start to feel out like, oh, this is uncomfortable and this feels more comfortable. You know, like you just have to experiment. I'm a firm believer that everybody to an extent can sing. Not everybody has the same range and the same timbre to their voice, but if they work on it and practice, like literally what people don't realize is your vocals are like a muscle. You just have to literally work on them all the time, every day. It's gonna suck, and like singing is such one of those vulnerable things that you kind of just have to get over that mental side of it, and just keep working on it, and then you end up finding your voice. Again, everybody's different. You may not be able to have this crazy high range or crazy low range, but the more you experiment, the more you play around with it and treat your vocals nicely, the more results you'll get.
Definitely. Going off that too, for me, a huge part of like finding my sound was to find vocalists that I thought I kind of could sound like, right?
Yeah.
And then, so like I would just practice. Like I used to only do false chord, but we had like another screamer briefly in the band who did fry only. So in my mind, I was just like, I must learn how to do fry. So I found some stuff that I was like, I can do this, and I just started really quiet, I guess. Like I would literally just practice with like Suicide Silence tracks, and then just go, eow, and then just like over time, just like slowly get louder and louder with it, just like pushing a little bit harder and being like, I think I can hit that note. Another thing that I found was like super helpful. Two things. One is to not scream like you're angry or when you're angry. At least do that as minimal as possible, because when I would do that and I would notice like, okay, I'm like mad and I'm starting like these, fry noises are now louder, but my vocals, like they were just more strained and they hurt quicker. Whereas if you kind of just do it like, if you're kind of zen about it, kind of level headed and just kind of, I don't know, just go for it, it's going to be way easier. Melissa Cross talks about sort of like picturing it like a wave rather than something you're reaching for. So if you're like, if you're thinking like, I'm going to like really strain and hit this note, you're probably not going to hit it, or it's going to sound really sloppy.
Dude, preach.
Versus like if you're just like, you just like kind of tell yourself like, I can do this, and just kind of glide into it. It's so much easier.
Yeah, and like pushing harder or exerting more energy never yields a better result.
Yeah,
like in harsh vocals, that's something a lot of people struggle to grasp because it looks and it sounds like it's just intensity and nothing else. But the reality of it is it's super controlled. It's super
it really
processed.
is.
and
Honestly,
technical
very
oriented.
much the same with singing though too. Like you, posture kind of has a lot to do with singing too, and that's something that I'm always continually trying to get better at. But like the tendency is like when you go to hit a high note, you almost like want to raise your chin up and like start really belting. But actually, if you lower your chin, like you're gonna sing lower, but instead when you go to sing higher, that's actually going to help a lot more and take way more weight off of the vocals, and it's going to naturally want to shift to the diaphragm. In my own experience, again, everybody's kind of different how they feel it out, but yeah, so I've found that too, is like the tendency is like I just need to freaking belt this and like until I pass out, to reach this high note, and definitely been there, and that's kind of the beauty of like vocal and just vocal progression is you have to do that stuff to realize, never mind, I can do this better. There's a better way for this,
Yeah. I guarantee you, like Nathan, Tyler, and Paul, if you've done this as well, like you've probably gotten like better results by recording yourself doing it.
Yes.
Like
100%.
you record it, play it back. It's gonna make you cringe so hard, but that's literally how
Dude,
you get better.
There's nothing more humbling than like hearing your own
Yes.
self
100%.
recorded. But Joe, something you said a while back that like really struck me. So something for harsh vocals that people struggle with is like conceptually figuring out internally like what part of my vocal cords am I even like targeting? And it's like you can talk about fret chord, you can talk about false chord, but like if you haven't felt that experience for yourself, it doesn't mean a whole lot. But
Right.
you were talking about in The Shining when there's like that red rum sing that everybody knows, but it's like literally that kid when he's saying red rum, it's like that creaky, croaky,
Yep.
not true vocal cords sound like that is the fry sound.
That's
and you're like,
literally the fry sound.
yeah. And that like blew my mind. It's like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, why does nobody explain it like
Dude,
that?
like when I heard that, I literally just sat around going like "Red Rum" for so long, just like trying to like, and then eventually it just sounded more and more raspy, which is like screamy. So
Yeah, like
and then
more distortion, compression.
exactly. And then and again, just from there, like naturally, it's gonna get louder if you just like, I don't know, just push yourself to do it. Don't push.
Okay.
And it's like once you have, it's like I don't know, it's like an instrument. Once you have the mouthpiece, your embouchure is good to go. Like you can put more air through it and still get a good result. But starting out.
Big same to the push yourself, you can do it. Paul is actually a little bit of an enabler in my vocals. I don't know if you remember of it, Blackroot Forest. I had the melody idea of the take comfort, but I was like, I don't know, dude. It's like a little on my range because I hadn't done anything like that on Castle. And you just straight up looked at me like a disappointed dad, and you're like, you could do it. I was like, okay, well, I guess I got to learn to do it. And I just freaking squealed until I found out how to hit that range, dude.
I feel like Nathan was helpful there too, though, because Nathan, do you remember like this was when we were living in Bloomington and we'd go on car rides, and you were talking about like you were like singing along with Secret and Whisper stuff, and you had essentially like unlocked a new range for yourself by virtue of belting from the diaphragm in a non-harmful way, but like in a way that it's like at first it's really tenuous and touch and go, but once you figure it out and lock it in, it's like you have this soaring ultra high.
Exactly. Yeah, and you learn how to control that in a way that you round out your vowels or whatever in a way that really matches your normal chest voice or whatever that'll be. But yeah, I mean, honestly, singing in the car is one of the best things because it's isolated. You are away from everybody else. Everybody else is in a car as well, and if they can hear you, like you're never going to see them again. So like, there's very little at all. So just going out and singing, like belting along in the car, using that diaphragm. Yeah, hitting those high notes for me. I don't know if this is the same for you, Tyler, if this applies to screaming at all, Joe, but like thinking of it like a rubber band, and instead of like stretching out the entire rubber band in order to hit a high note, you are just like pinching closer to like closer together, and then stretching that section. That's like
a point of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel like about head voice or something like that. It feels like that's just how you tap into that.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I feel like Joe, just in fry terms, something like another framing that helped me understand harsh vocals was like, for me, the way I describe like how fry-chord works to people is like it's literally falsetto that you put distortion on. Like when I would, because like I'll mess around with fry occasionally, but it's like if you just like imagine going like woo, but like woo, and like sort of push it around the corners, like you start to develop the framework that you can like lower down and you can adjust. But it's like you were saying, you establish like that core technique first, and you figure out like what's the phrase that like clicks in my head, or the wave, that it's all like this mental image that enables you to unlock it.
Yeah, literally. Also, mouth shapes and tongue placement are huge in like pitching screams. Like placing like the tip of your tongue on your bottom row of teeth, just in the middle, curving it up a little bit, it's going to make your screams like automatically like a little bit higher, and it's going to be a little more like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's going to have that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's similar stuff in cleans too, though, like E's and stuff. Like instead of saying like E, because E's can be so harsh and nasally, like
piercing.
Yeah, but if you change it to like a, then it's like that's not bad.
And some
Not
vowels
bad.
are easier to carry up in your higher register.
Yeah,
too.
A's and O's and stuff like that. So
Yeah, literally, it's the exact same in screaming. Like, just like you could literally have the exact same pitch, like A. See that? It's like slightly higher, just going from A to E, and O is a little bit lower. A. O.
Right. And I feel like
dang,
I just lost my train of
Yeah,
thought.
it's called a freestyle in the hip hop world.
Oh yeah, like that really, like mouth shape and tongue placement is what people call tunnel throat, right? It's like your throat is not doing anything differently for tunnel throat. It's like you're.
I think you like for tunnel throat, like you do flex your throat a little bit, like it's kind of like that. Like it's literally going like for me when I explain it to people, I like pitch my voice down so it's like Joe from Family Guy, like, hey everyone,
Johnny Bravo.
Just do the fry noise over it, so it's like, hey everyone.
What do you?
And again, like,
What is that different or is that the same thing?
dude, okay, so that last one I did, all I did was,
do that again, just like pure and isolated.
okay, so like, now I'm gonna like curve my tongue like a hot dog. No different, but one is lower. Yeah.
But one is a garbage disposal.
Yeah, literally.
devil is here.
Yeah, literally just make a hot dog bun shape with your tongue, and it's gonna change your world.
I guarantee you.
In more
Damn, son, start trying that.
That reminds me. This used to happen all the time back in the day, like when we were shooting the video for Black Root Forest. But you used to do like
sucking dick.
very true, very true. But you used to like fake puke in a way that was so realistic. Like if you ever did it in public, you'd get a lot of concerned looks and people like stopping.
Yeah,
see if
dude.
you're okay. But it's like kind of a vocal tech. Like you were using some.
Dude, the part in Bloodlust where I'm not doing any lyrics, like that's pretty much my fake vomit sound. Like straight up.
Dude.
Nathan,
awesome.
what's the best way to scream since I've learned from you after all these years?
Oh yeah, I'm a big, start out with the pig squeal, but a little inhale action, and don't go anywhere from there.
That's it.
Guzzle a lot of hot sauce beforehand, and then big squirrel.
Guzzle a lot of hot sauce. I would say drink as much coffee as possible. It's kind of anything that you would do for singing. Do the opposite for screaming. That's basically what I'd say.
I remember.
Don't warm up. 4 Locos, no water.
4 Locos. All right,
Watermelon
dude.
flavor.
a very obvious vocal tip: do not drink before you're gonna track vocals, dude.
Yes, I'm gonna give a yes and though, because you remember when we were on tour with In Dying Arms and we would sit in the van in the parking lot before shows, and Orion from In Dying Arms would just like smash a 4 Loco.
Dude, shout out to Orion.
And
Dude,
he's
beast mode.
the
he's
best,
on a different
one of the
level.
best guys.
He honestly is. Yeah, that whole band is just rock solid dudes. But he was like, so I know that, like people say this about a lot of people. But he's so down to earth, and like we were super green behind the ears, and he was super cool to us all. But Also, he would just
He was.
make it work. Yeah.
He was also the guy that told us we need to start wearing pants on stage. We would just like wear gym shorts and stuff. It's
Dress up
like
as
maybe
Sean
try
Oswald
wearing
over-
some pants or something.
Dude, he has like the
I think that was-
nastiest highs.
Yeah, it was Paul wasn't there. That was like the one of the first or second days that Paul wasn't there. But Nathan and I were chatting with him.
Oh yeah, it was really nice. Yeah, because there was like some other like slimy like business things that were going on that tour where we were getting like,
Leak
fucked
it.
over by-
Leak it. This will be premium. This will be premium.
we were just over, and so like we had a heart to heart with Orion where we just like sat down and we like had a few beers, and he was basically just like letting us know how touring goes, like what you should expect, like what you should not put up with, those sort of things, sort of like set the line and set the standard for something like that. So like, but yeah, I feel like that was the tour that before it started, we like all went to Goodwill and tried to pick out like the most ridiculous outfit we could find.
Shoot him.
Yeah, I got the shoot 'em. I got the Swamp People shirt.
Shoot him. That was great.
I think Cody just had the same Hawaiian shorts as normal.
Yeah, that wasn't Goodwill.
It's funny. I was literally.
That was the Dolce and Gabbana.
I was just thinking about the first Wise Man show that we did with Nathan, and he dressed up as the fireman. That
Like a
used to
sexy
do.
stripper
Bill the Fire
fireman.
Marshal or whatever?
Marshall the Fire Marshal.
Marshall the Fire Marshal.
Yeah. So we had like an intro track like before like our first song, and I just felt like weird like standing there or walking on stage or whatever. I was like, I don't know, like it's not my vibe. So I was like, if you guys are gonna like wait to like do anything before the song starts, then I'm gonna like do a striptease on stage before this.
I remember I was like, me too. I was so ready.
Yeah. And so I went up there in like a tracksuit or whatever, and then I just had like running shorts on and a blue leather vest and a mustache and like a fireman's hat, and that was like all I wore for the whole set. And
Cody
yeah, it
had
was
an
great.
apron.
Yeah, we got like a lot of female Facebook followers after that show, if I remember
No
correct.
doubt, no doubt. After all, it is Marshall the Fire Marshal. You know
Extra
what
fire, you feel me?
I'm saying?
I love it.
Love you,
Dude.
baby.
Nathan, you should tell us a little bit about the time you wore the same shirt for a week straight.
Oh.
Dude, I am so surprised that I'm still in this band after that, to be completely
I'm surprised you're alive, dude. I thought you were gonna get an
Yeah.
infection.
In fairness, it
That
wasn't
dude-
as bad as I thought it would be, but it was really bad.
honest. I tell that story to people like, yeah, this is this like crazy thing I did when I was younger, and they're like, what the fuck? Like,
And they
I can't
delete your
believe
number
that
from
there
their
was
phone.
basically we were on tour, and I just wore the same shirt on stage every night. I want to see what happens like after this tour is over, if it's like covered in sweat.
I'm pretty sure that was
Yeah.
longer than a week too. That was the was the Undying Arms tour.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was it.
you
Okay,
wear it the
yeah,
whole
right. That was
tour?
the Undying Arms tour. And-
until Orlando at least.
yeah, no, it went the whole way.
I was gonna
And
say, I
Oh, wow.
swear this boy started out.
that like halfway through the tour, like maybe even earlier than
What's
that, I had to start storing that shirt in the trailer with all the gear. 'cause
Yeah, what's
we are not.
What's the character on Charlie Brown that's got like the dust around him?
Linus.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, you were the real life
Wait,
Linus.
that's
that
not
whole-
Linus. That's Pigpen.
Oh,
Pigpen.
yeah, you're
Dude,
right,
you were the
you're
real
right.
life Pigpen, man.
Dude, what cracked me up too was it was a pure white shirt starting out, and by the end, it was like a dark beige. It
Literally,
was not
dude.
good.
Oh my, it was like piss yellow.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. I remember like bleeding on it during one show, like got a bloody nose or like hit my hand or something like that, and it was like, add it to the shirt. It's gonna be a part of the.
Add it to the shirt, boys.
I think that was
sucks,
from
it's like
wrestling
all
in the
that-
gravel parking lot, dude. I don't know. I'm just making up.
What's that?
No, but
Continue.
we did you cut Cody's hair in the parking lot outside in Orlando.
On
On a
live.
live stream. It's still out there somewhere.
He was like, don't give me racing stripes, so I gave him racing stripes.
Dude, he was like not happy for a little second.
Cut the
there.
live. Cut the live.
Can we talk, bro?
And then we jumped Cody.
And he kicked all of our ass.
It's a good reason he's not
Went
here right
full
now.
Oswald
Dude,
mode.
I'll be honest. I feel safer when Cody's around because he looks like he could
On God.
rumble.
I
Yeah.
was terrified of Cody the first day I met him. I was like, this guy looks like he smokes pot.
Dude looks like he smokes any of us for breakfast. He's
Dude.
so like Like, what's ironic is he's the sweetest guy in the band, hands down, but he's like so intimidating looking.
He is, dude. He's like also quiet, which makes it like mysterious. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude. Yeah, I feel that. Quiet people can be scary as hell.
As they say, the wise man feels three things, my lady.
One of them's Cody Chambers.
Cody Chambers, Paul Ehrman, and Nathan Kane.
No vocalists.
It was good until vocals came in. I feel like that's always the dividing point in our music. It's either like you get the old people, they're like, I just can't do the screams. And then you get the like intense
Edgelords.
deathcore community that's
Losers.
like, oh, I can't do the cleans, dude.
And that's honestly how you know you're like hitting a happy medium is when you're getting
Ayo.
equal ends bitched about.
When all the haters make you famous.
It's a lot like Eminem once said.
That's an awfully hot pot of coffee.
If you got people who hate you, you're doing something right.
Thought that was Drake, bro.
No, that was definitely Eminem. It was definitely Eminem, dude. Don't take this away from him.
I thought
He
Em
does
said that's an
Confucius,
awfully
dude.
hot coffee pot.
One time, many years ago, Eminem was at a show, and a young man came up to him, and Eminem said, "You can be anything." You know who that man was? President Barack Obama.
Next week on the Wise Man's Radio. WMF Corner. Toyota-thon.
Promotion ends March 5th.
Transcom featuring Nathan King. I am compromised. Featuring Tyler Reese.
Yeah, Joey Duppis. Brett.
Wednesdays on NBC.
Featuring Nathan Fillion.
I love that you could like pool all of our brain cells and still not pass fifth grade, dude.
Dude, I forgot to tell you guys I didn't graduate high school. I've been lying this whole time.
It shows.
Dude, that was
didn't
below the
graduate
belt. You
elementary.
know I never got my grade 6.
Dude, I was the laughing stocks of 6th grade graduation, dude, because I showed up with 2 broken arms from smashing into a tree on my 4-wheeler. Loser. Said, look at that.
God, I hate this
He's going nowhere.
Between that and didn't you get in a pretty bad car wreck in high school?
No, sir, I did not. I don't know who you're thinking of.
All right, never
That's
mind.
not funny, though.
Why'd you bring that up?
No, there's other people that I know, but I did not. I was fortunate, knock on wood, to have
Pretty
avoided
privileged,
that.
huh?
Pretty privileged. Yes,
What's
sir.
the shittiest movie you guys have seen recently?
It's got to be Forrest Gump, dude.
It's got to be Academy Award winner Forrest Gump. That Tom Hanks, no future
All right,
in
no,
cinema.
for real. What's the shittiest movie you guys have ever seen? Because I think I have
Ever?
a trump card. No, recently. Because
You and I both have the trump card, dude.
What is
If
it?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Dude, that movie rocks.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I guess I shouldn't say worse. It's just the
I'm
most
telling you,
ridiculous.
like something that's trying to be badass and is just shit.
Oh, dude. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna look this up. You guys discuss. I have one.
All right, I'm
Go
gonna
for it,
go.
Joe.
This new Jared Leto movie, The Little Things, hot garbo.
Really?
Yeah, it's so bad. It was like, first of all, the cast is stacked. It has like Denzel Washington, the dude from Mr. Robot, Rami
Remy.
Malek or something
Yeah.
like that. That dude's awesome.
I love him.
Yeah, and then it had Jared Leto, who he has a lot of misses, but he can be a good actor from time to time. Dude, that movie was garbage, hot garbage. I think we should react to it live someday.
He
'cause
should have
it's-
stayed on Mars, if you know
it's
what I
like-
mean.
I feel like every line in that movie, I just like cringed at a little bit more. What about you, Nathan?
Oh gosh, it's tough. I haven't seen a movie that's like amazingly awful recently. I don't know. I'm trying to think of bad movies. I did see the movie The Witches of Eastwick, which is about 3 witches, one of which is Cher,
Keep
and they like
going.
they create their like dream man, which is Jack Nicholson, and he's just like demon from hell, and I don't know, it was ridiculous, but yeah, it wasn't. It was just like obnoxious. It wasn't awful though.
I think I might have one of the top terrible movies of all time. It's called Hard Kill.
That
And-
sounds badass.
So the only reason I watch this is because it's Bruce Willis, and
Oh no!
it sounds like Die Hard the sequel, like Hard Kill, Die Hard. Nope, that's what they kited on. They're like, we bet people will mistake this for the same franchise, dude. I had to stop watching it midway. I picked it up again because I was like, I need to see this through because I can't believe this. But like, you just cliches out the ass. It's like, I'm a military man. I'm tortured. I've been doing mercenary jobs since I finished my Afghanistan tours, all 10 of them back in 2008. And then a guy comes to him. He's like, I got one more job. He's like, I said I was done. One more job. He's like, all right, but I picked the crew. He's like, fine, have it your way. So he pulls together his ragtag crew of 4 people, and then they go to the job, and it's a protection gig, and it turns out to be more than they bargained for.
It's
like,
unorthodox, but goddamn, he gets the job done.
dude, it has everything. It's like, what's his name? Bruce Willis plays this like.
Of course he does.
He plays like this multi-millionaire, like, you know, ex-military guy who develops an AI and gets kidnapped. And oh my gosh, dude,
Is that on Netflix?
it is.
I'm watching the fuck out of that.
You should just to like understand that I'm not being like whiny about.
Please tell me Vin Diesel's in it, dude.
He's Bruce Willis, right? They're the same guy.
Name
Yeah,
one Vin
same.
Diesel movie that you've seen that you liked.
The Pacifier.
Triple X State of the Union.
Fuck. Alright.
Dude, I remember back, you know, 5th grade, 6th grade, the Pacifier had a Good Charlotte song on the soundtrack, and I was like,
Alright.
oh,
I felt the
hell
exact
yeah.
same way about Cheaper by the Dozen. They had a Sum 41 song. I was like, hey, yo, Steve Martin
Dude,
kind of lit. though.
remember when soundtracks on movies had like punk bands or
Literally,
like pop
yeah.
punk?
That was
Like
just-
MGK. Joe is looking at me like he's gonna-
Why'd you say his name? Have you guys seen Batman versus Superman?
No,
It's so fucking bad.
it doesn't
like-
sound like it.
They're beefing super hard, like they're just beating the shit out of each other, and then like
Why do they fight?
I don't even remember. I've seen the movie
Why
twice.
does anyone fight, Paul?
And then at the end of the movie,
For
they're
land,
just like
oil.
literally killing each other, and then like Superman says something like Rachel, and then that's like Batman's like mom or girlfriend or something. He's like, why did you say that name? Why did you say that name? Who, Rachel? How do you know Rachel? And then they're like, Rachel's my mom or girlfriend as well. And they're like, we're best buds. Let's kick Joker's ass or whatever. And it's over. It was so bad.
Damn. And that was the director's cut too.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna watch the director's cut. I will give Zack Snyder 3 more hours of my life, and then I'm done.
Then I swear off Zack Snyder.
Dude, my dad said the exact same thing about David Lynch, Nathan. He was like, we were watching WandaVision, the first 2 episodes, and I was like, this
That's
is
David
like,
Lynch.
No, I was like, this is like very like Lynchian, like it has very David Lynch vibes. And he was like, I'm not gonna give David Lynch another minute of my time. Every time I watch a David Lynch movie, it's like I'm there for 2.5 hours. Some weird stuff happens, and then there's no payoff. I hate
This
David
was your
Lynch.
dad?
Yeah, this is my dad.
Is your dad Jerry
fine.
freaking
Tirade.
Springfield? Dude?
Yeah.
Seinfeld? What the hell is his name?
Jerry Seinfeld's more
Springfield.
like, hey, I'm Jerry Seinfeld. Want to watch my movie about bees?
What's the deal with me?
What's the... Never mind. Cut his mic.
That's what we should have named the podcast. Was cut his mic.
Got his mic. I mean, it's not too late.
What's the deal with...
Just like a stamp, impact font stamp of canceled, slams across the screen.
Apparently, I've heard Seinfeld's an asshole in real life, but
I've heard that.
There's a ton of comedians that are like lower level. That's like Seinfeld just like shows up to like local gigs and then just like comes out afterwards and like hangs out with all the comedians for like hours at a time.
Yeah, but you can be both. You know, like I feel like
disagree. Nope, he's a nice guy. You leave Mr. Seinfeld alone.
as a genuinely good guy who has watched multiple local bands perform.
Oh no, dude.
with my arms folded in the back of the Hoosier Dome,
yeah,
smoking cigarettes outside and then saying, good game.
I will say everything I see of Jerry Seinfeld, he's pretty funny, but I feel like he's very. It's not even like he has a conflated ego because he did change like TV. He changed TV, but he's like way too aware of that, you know.
Oh,
Where
I
he's
completely-
He's like, I am.
We had the best run on television.
You know what? I chose to end it.
Yeah,
I
literally.
did.
Have you seen that Larry King interview where he like
Yes.
freaks
Oh,
out on him for saying like,
Cancel my show.
Yeah,
they
literally-
didn't cancel my show.
yeah, Larry King even then was like 947 years old. So
Yeah,
it's
he was
like he's not
pushing Yoda
watching
status.
TV.
Dude, he stopped watching TV before Jerry was born, and
Yeah, probably.
he was like, "Oh, so when your show got my show wasn't canceled?
I mean, do you even watch the show, Larry?
There's bees in it.
What's the deal with Larry
Is
King
George
anyway?
Lopez still
He's
on
old,
TV?
He's probably dead.
There's a
he looks
bee.
like a puppet.
There's a bee that falls in love with a lady, a human lady.
Dude, even as a kid, I was like, that makes no sense.
Don't let that stop you, Brian."
They should have had like little bee human babies at the end.
Kept it going.
Dude, but that's what happened in Shrek, so it could have worked.
Dude, yeah, honestly, Shrek's at the bar for animated
Bestiality.
crossover bestiality movies.
Oh, what's
So much. There's so much to unpack in the Donkey Dragon babies.
Dude, also, like, they kind of come out of nowhere. I actually just watched Shrek 2 the other day, and it's like
Very smooth.
they have like all the credits roll and everything, and just at the very end, like the dragon comes and sees Donkey, and then he's like, "Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, this and that. Like, I'm sorry for beefing with you." And then like all of a sudden, like all these baby donkey dragons come in the picture. And it's
Oh
like,
my
And then
gosh.
she asks for child support. No, she doesn't do that. That's a joke. It's just a little joke.
Caught his mic.
Cut it.
Cut his mic.
I'm reporting you to the IRS immediately.
Damn.
Just texted him.
God damn.
I've been evading taxes for years.
It's all this metalcore money.
All this metalcore money.
How long have we been going?
Gotta get creative. 5 minutes. Dang, dude. That's felt like 3 hours.
Not bad. Not bad. I feel like this was not
Hey.
as jam-packed as the last one.
We were going to talk a little bit about some releases recently.
Yeah, actually, that's a good way to round this out. Is just sort of our take on some
Some of the modern releases out there these days.
I do like that. Yeah.
What's everybody been jamming?
Joe's like, what are we putting
Let's
down?
start with that. Let's start with that. What's everybody been jamming these days?
I'm gonna pull up Spotify. I was on a
Same.
little Michael Jackson kick today. Weirdly enough,
Wow, you're so cultured.
It
dude.
was on shuffle. It kept coming up. I'm like, what's that Beatles song? Come together, right?
What's the one that goes,
like the
"Grandma got
second
run
time.
over by a reindeer"?
Do you like the Beatles, Joe?
Dude, I loved the Beatles when I was a kid. They still have a lot of songs. I like. Do you?
There's your answer.
hate the British.
Dude, I will say proportionally, for the population Britain has, they put out a ton of bands.
Yeah, I mean, especially rock bands too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they kind of pioneered the genre, I guess.
Dude, I've been let's see here. I wasn't too big on a lot of the New Day to Remember stuff.
No.
So did you guys listen to it all the way through?
No,
Yeah,
I did like Bloodsucker, I think that's what it's called. And then the track that comes after it, which is like a little bit heavier. Those are cool.
Last Chance to Dance.
Was that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've listened to the album twice.
Kind of cool.
I think you need to give it 2 to 3 tries before you really make a decision.
Yeah.
But
I won't do that. For real though. Dude,
Yeah.
honestly, because I tried that with the one with like Bullfight on it. Bad Vibrations. I listened to it 2 or 3 times. I'm like, this is still hot fucking garbage. I hate this.
it's so hard because their first 4 to 5 albums were like pretty incredible, dude. Like
so fucking.
They were
the
game
standard.
changers, for
Like
sure.
yeah. So high expectations going into this. Bad Vibrations lost me a little bit. There was definitely a couple good ones on it, but this one, same thing for me personally. I think there's some good ones on there. I think it's one of those things that and again, like it's different for everybody, but there's probably like 4 to 5 jams that I think they should have kind of like focused on and started writing around that, but it just kind of feels disconnected and all over the place. I know that the goal was to like just worry about writing music and then they'll worry about how to connect it later, but it feels like almost so far between that they can't be connected. Almost like in between some of these songs.
Dude, I feel you. Like putting Degenerates on the same album as
Same.
like Resentment or even the first track. I can't remember the first on that record. Brick Wall. Is that? Dude, yeah.
I actually really enjoyed, like, I get it, it wouldn't be heavy, but I actually really enjoyed Mind Reader. I thought that was well done.
It was not bad.
And I think, and they have some other songs on the album that go in that direction, and it would have made sense for them. And I think if they would have really honed in on that and said, okay, like, take the 3 other songs or 3 or 4 other songs on the album that are similar to Mind Reader, you know, put them together, and then let's, like, figure out a way to kind of round it off with a few more songs like that. That would have been the better take than like, okay, here's everything we just wrote the last 5 years.
And we're going to like fumble it in slow motion for a year and a half. Yeah, like this record has been teased for so long. And when it gets to a point, I feel like a lot of bands have done this where it's like, this is partially why I feel hesitant to ever tease our stuff is like, once you set hype in motion, it just builds over time, and it's like it gets to a climax where it can't live up to expectation.
Right.
You know, like they would have had to do Homesick 3.0
Yeah.
to like actually come out on top here.
Yeah. That's what everybody wants.
Yeah, low key.
Except for them, apparently.
Yeah, right.
Dude.
Yeah. I can't like hate on it because again, there's still like outside of the releases, like if I had to give, they released 4 songs, so there was Degenerates first, and then they came out with Resentment, then Mind Reader, and then Everything We Need. So of those 4 songs, the 2 strongest ones were definitely Mind Reader and Resentment. And then I think they had some other ones on the album like that too. Viva La Mexico was pretty decent.
Yeah.
I actually liked Permanent. Permanent was cool. Gosh, I'm trying to think of the other. I need to just pull it up. But if they would have went in like those directions,
or like you were saying, consolidated, like do 2 EPs that have different focuses or something.
oh, for sure.
But yeah, it felt like patchwork a little bit, which, you know, listening through the full thing, it's like distracting at times. But, you know, definitely some good stuff on there. I don't think it deserves the hate that it got because people were like freaking out about it. They're like,
Looks Like Hell was another decent one. That one I was kind of vibing to some as well.
yeah.
Like, so I'm not going to say this whole album was a throwaway because some people are being like pretty harsh
Yeah, that's
on
what I'm
it.
saying. People are like freaking out, and it's like, dude, it's a
It was definitely not a full
easy core
throwaway.
record. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
I will
Right.
say this: I don't think I've added any of those songs to my playlist, and I'm probably not going to.
Fair. Yeah, it was a little bit forgettable, like Architects. That's the one that really,
Yeah.
really is like. I'm torn because they have some good songs on that one as well, but it's like they were freaking out over landing like #1 album on Billboard for UK.
Yeah.
And it's like that's good, but also like the record is okay.
I will say, I haven't heard the full record, but the singles they dropped are really growing on me quite a bit, and they get caught in my head a lot.
The singles were great. The one with Winston McCall was great.
Yeah, that is good.
Outside, there was like one. So I guess like half the record I enjoyed. The other half I was like, wow, they could all be one song and I wouldn't know.
I haven't listened to it all the way through. I'm same boat as Joe. I'm like with the singles. I'm such a playlist person now.
Yeah.
that
Oh, dude.
I was
same.
jamming the singles that were on some of these different playlists, and I'm like, yeah, these aren't bad. These aren't bad. But I haven't had a chance to actually sit down and listen through the whole thing.
Great fucking mix too. Oh my.
Oh,
God,
dude, Nolly.
Oh, Nolly did it.
Was that Nolly?
He did at least some of it. I can't remember if he mixed it, but he. I think he did, but he might have just produced.
Fangirling over here. Was that Nolly? Nolly mixed it.
Listen to the bass tone and tell me it wasn't Nolly.
Nathan, what the fuck have you been listening to, Slat?
Just a little like, like the classics, Kanye, Yeezus, Charli
Don't
XCX,
shit on Kanye. We went on an
Blink-182.
hour-long rant for that.
What do you say?
We went on like this hour-long rant last time about Kanye. Don't shit on him, dude. I'll beat your ass.
I love Kanye, dude. I'm all about
Yeah,
it.
Nathan would never
I-
shit on Kanye.
Over the years, I've like flip-flopped back and forth. So I was like, in like early college, I was like, what's this guy's deal? Have you guys heard about Kanye West?
Same.
Not actually. No, like, I don't know. You warm up to it. And, yeah, you sort of get what
You
he's
like
saying.
Yeezus though? You do like Yeezus?
Oh, I love Yeezus. Yeah, it's
Same.
awesome. Yeah, that's my like wake up music. That's my
Hey, what's that song where he says,
Children.
he says wake up in a song?
Chop Suey.
No, yeah. Chop Suey by Kanye West.
Yeah, Kanye.
Yeah.
Kanye covered that, dude.
Wake up. We about to get this paper. It's on a Life of Pablo,
A
actually.
little makeup.
So not
Whatever.
Dude.
Oh, wake up, Mr. What? Whatever. I'm off that. Let's go.
I'm off that. Dude, for me, just today at last night at midnight, Brand of Sacrifice put out their record. Really good, really wild. It's drinking from a fire hydrant for sure.
Dude, I have only heard the singles, but holy fuck, they do not miss.
And dude, they even for their sound, they managed to keep it fresh. Like what they're doing now sounds different than God Hand, sounds different from the Interstice.
But it's like a really, really cool blend of like Intersectus and God Hand.
Somebody reviewed it and was like, it sounds like 3 Transformers fighting for an hour, but it's like it does, and that's sick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I would listen to that for 6. So
Joke's on you. So that's really cool. I've been on the longest Thornhill kick. They put out one called The Dark Pool in 2019.
It's not bad, dude. I've jammed it myself.
Yeah, and
really
it's like I have
enjoying
a really hard time identifying what about it is so alluring to me, but it's like the melodies get caught in my head, even though they're not like super poppy melodies. They're like, I don't know, they're fine, but it's like
they work really well with the music.
Exactly. I think they just found something really cohesive, and it's, the overall product's really good. Caspian recently I've been listening to a lot. They did one
New ones?
Yeah, it's new-ish. Let me figure out what this is called. But
Caspian's a little older, right?
they've been around for a while.
I got to see them live with Under Oath.
Yeah, I did too. Actually, Nathan and I saw them in Grand
We all went
Rapids.
together to Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
That was a great show, dude.
I
thought
don't
they
remember
crushed
you
it.
being there, Tyler. Actually,
Really?
I'm just kidding.
I'm a pretty forgettable person, you know.
Fair point.
Yeah, like, everything was so memorable about that experience, but like I don't remember you being there.
Yeah, dude.
They did one in 2020 called On Circles, and this is what I've been just looping recently. But they
About to jam that.
they had the vocalist from Pianos become the teeth on a track, and it works flawlessly. They have a couple with vocals on them, which is new for them.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's great, like thinking music, and just it's great because you can devote as much or as little focus to it as you want, and it still works. But that Darko, Joe, I don't know if you've heard them, but Tom Barber's other project, super solid.
What's that Thornhill song that's like? You know what I'm talking about? I think it's called Reptile.
Oh, probably. If it's not on the Dark Pool, I don't know.
It was the one right before that. I think
Yeah,
it was on
it's probably
like, the
Reptile.
Butterfly.
That was like their big single.
Dude, that song slaps, but that's all I really know about them.
Dude, Lily and the Moon is great. Where Do We Go When We Die is great. Views from the Sun is great. Nurture is great.
Jammed a lot of old Alisana today.
Oh, there you go.
Classic.
Throwback, man.
Dude,
Their drummer was fucking good, dude.
super deep dive for the nostalgic bands last week. Some of these Nathan and I are probably going to be the ones here that know them, but the Receiving Into Sirens dove back into their stuff, went back into some Envy on the Coast a little bit.
Dude, they're like an all-time influence for you.
All-time low.
For sure. Their first like 3 releases. They do have a newer album that they put out. Like half the band got back together, but one of the guys that I was supposed to go see him live in April of last year in 2020, and obviously that did not happen. That was prime pandemic season. You need me to explain that to you, Joe?
You didn't care enough about
everybody
them to go
got
in
sick.
Are you? Wait, everyone in the band got sick at once. That's weird.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. So they had to cancel.
Huh. I think you're a fake fan for not going to that show.
Yeah, I support Joe on this one for no discernible reason.
I know for a fact Nathan would go to any show that popped up in 2020.
Yeah.
For bands that he
I
loved.
went to every single show.
Every single show in 2020 Nathan attended. He saw Skrillex. He saw Drake.
He saw Travis
good
Scott's
measure.
Fortnite show.
Dude.
I was at every Minecraft concert there was.
Minecraft concert, dude.
Oh my god.
Have you ever seen the Minecon videos. It's like Minecraft,
I'm
but
scared.
Comic Con.
That's-
It's
that was-
worse than you think.
That
I
was
guarantee
too
you.
close to something, Joe. You need to just move on.
Hitler, Mein Kampf, dude.
Oh, very funny, Tyler. Grow up, okay?
We should do that. We should keep extra uber spicy content behind a paywall because the only people that'll listen to it are ones who are like okay with us being spicy.
You're right. And then we take out all of our audio and just leave Nathan's. Nathan from Whalebone says what?
And it's
Just
just
like a lot of like a lot of foghorns.
just Nathan breathing into the mic.
And we just like splice it up to say really bad things. And it's just like,
like pull your
I am
syllables
Nathan
apart.
and I do not like Mexicans. Because my
Oh man.
but I do like Taco Bell.
Riddle me that.
Dude, March 11th, we get our potatoes back. I'm ready.
Oh, dude.
What?
Yeah, I think
This month, right?
No, March 1st. I think the potatoes came back at Taco Bell.
No, March. I showed up the other day. I was like, "Where's my spicy potato soft taco?" And they were like, "Next Thursday, man. We'll have it back for you. I promise." I was talking to one person that was taking my order, and then the manager popped on and was like, "Hey, yeah, those will be back next Thursday." It was sweet. So
And you're like, I hate you.
Hey, so I like to imagine this is the first time you've gone to Taco Bell in like 9 months, and you're like, the first thing you say, "Where's the potato? Where's my spicy potato soft
Where
taco?
potato?
Where potato now?"
When I ordered the party pack earlier today, the guy just sighed.
Fuck.
Is it because you asked for the spaghetti fun pack?
Yeah,
He's
that
like,
too.
"Not
That was.
this."
I forgot to
Not this
include
bull.
that. I asked for the spaghetti fun pack, and he was like, "What are you talking about?" It's like,
Dude, tell
It's a regional
that
ad, dude.
classic story,
That is a
Tyler.
classic.
I'm pretty sure it's stolen from somebody, but I don't.
From
I can't.
Ryan Eads.
Yeah,
Let's not
I got it
credit
from Ryan,
anybody,
but I'm pretty
please.
sure he stole
No,
it from
he
somebody.
stole it from
Cut his mic.
you.
Okay,
You
that's
stole
right.
from Jerry Seinfeld.
We
What's
just kept
the deal with
stealing it from
spaghetti?
each other.
The spaghetti fun box. It's not a box, and it doesn't exist. Why are you ordering it, Tyler?
Sounds like Jerry's going
Dude,
through
on Christmas
puberty all
Day,
over.
my mom was like, Joe, will you read the Christmas story? And I was like, yes, but I'm going to read it like Barry Benson from the B movie. So, there was Jesus lying in a manger. And what's the deal with that?
Was that
He
this
was the
last
savior
year?
of the new world.
That was this last year.
Yeah, this last Christmas.
Dang.
Yeah,
dude.
she doesn't talk
Wish I
to me
was
anymore.
there.
Joe, you've been holding that drink for about an hour now.
I know. I told you, I'm the king of pouring shots and then procrastinating to take
And
them.
you had to prove it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I have this compulsive need to prove myself to everyone in the room.
All right, then take a shot and then do the longest tunnel throat guttural you can do.
My longest yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. I want the yeah, boy.
God, your neighbors must hate you. We got the window up right now.
Dude, they're chill.
True. I talked to your neighbor about the Doors or some shit for like 20 minutes, drunk off my ass last year.
God bless Mark. Shouts out
Dude,
Mark.
shout out. He's cool as shit.
He
knows
is.
the Doors.
What's up, Mark?
You know we can't hear you, right?
Oh.
You know this isn't live.
I mean, he could be outside in your hot tub right now, dude.
I hope not, man. It's probably cold.
That's what metalcore money will buy you is a hot tub,
broken
ladies and
hot
gentlemen.
We've got a broken hot tub out there. Did I tell you how it all went down in the end? Joe, just
You fixed it, right?
Okay.
We did
Paul,
for a
okay,
night.
make me drink. Fine, I
3,
will.
2, 1. Joey dot hit.
Say 3, 2, 1
Okay.
penguins.
3, 2, 1.
Penguin.
Right,
Club Penguin.
So we fixed.
Got banned
we
from that
fixed the
site.
hot tub finally, and this is in the process of fixing the hot tub. Zach, our housemate, electrocuted himself real bad. So we called an actual repairman who worked for Royal Spa to come through. He ended up changing one corroded wire and it worked. We're like, oh, sick, yeah, that's awesome. This was back in December, and so we had a couple people over. A very COVID kosher birthday for me.
6 feet apart. I'm assuming this
'Cause
hot
we're
tub
not
was
gay.
at least 30 feet in circumference so that everybody can be spaced out correctly.
Yeah, you know. And we turned it on for the day leading up to, and it was cooking. It was, I think the readout was 118 degrees, but
Yeah,
that
you're-
thing undershoots hard. If you put your hand in it, it would burn you. So we pulled the ice drawer out of the freezer, and we were shoveling all of our ice into it and using the garden hose to try to cool it down over time. And then we finally got in. It was good, but we put so many people in it that it flowed over and it got the circuit board wet. So we like dried it out with a fan and it worked. So we're like, hell yeah, like that's great. Like let's let it heat up for like just leave it on for a couple days so it stays warm because we're gonna use it again. And it takes like, you know, it literally takes like an hour per degree Fahrenheit to warm a hot tub. So we leave it on for like 3 days. Come back, it had gotten so hot it melted the module, like the control module
Holy
in the
cow.
hot tub. Had broken through like the actual hot tub perimeter, like whatever the shell, and like, dude, those things are built to withstand the nuclear holocaust. So that thing, like, we think the heating element broke, and it was just binary, like maximum or none, and yeah, it would have freaking killed someone. So it's donezo for sure now. So
Holy
Nathan,
cow.
what do you listen to when you're longing for my touch?
I'm glad you guys didn't die.
I just listen to
My own shit.
listen to Whalebones mostly.
and that with my lesser self.
Fire song, by the way, dude. Fire song.
Like the records, like pretty regularly, and I'll like just play along every like once a month or something like that. I'm just it's the boys, dude.
So
It's
you
been a year.
don't care
I
about
got
your
to-
guitar?
I got to see the boys. What's up?
You're saying you only practice once a year?
No, once a month.
Oh,
I'll
so
play
you
through the
really
entire
don't care.
discography. It sucks. Every time I talk, it cuts you out. But
That sucks,
damn.
dude. Yeah,
oh,
bummer.
rats.
yeah, no, I got to see the boys like tonight for like the first time in almost a year, which is
In the flesh.
but
Yeah,
it was-
dude.
It was great.
It was so fleshy.
It's so fleshy. Stood like I don't know, like 30 feet apart, but you know.
I don't know. I think it was like 5 feet, which is 1 foot shorter than the recommended.
It's time to cancel hashtag whalebones.
Yeah, true.
You probably have the virus right now as we speak.
Dude, I am the virus, dude. Write that down, Paul.
Dude, yeah, let's hit up
That's
Memphis Mayfire. Let them know we've got their next track ready to go.
I am the cure.
virus.
Dude, the amount of songs I've heard this year that have like quarantine in the like lyrics or like virus or any shit like that, I'm just over it.
It's very disappointing.
Just feel like it's low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Ow, 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 ow.
They ought to pick
Well,
it. If it's
gang.
low hanging.
We're probably
Yeah,
right about that
yeah,
magical
we're
time.
pushing
An
it.
hour 10.
An hour 10, so after we chop everything out, it'll be about 30 minutes.
After we pull all the cut his mics. So thanks for tuning into the Wise Man's
Wise Man's Corner.
featuring Joey
Wise Man's Corner. The Wise Man's.
The Wise Man.
The Wise Man's Corner.
Hereditary 2018.
And
You know
that's
how
the
the
end.
Hereditary-
See you next time.
No, wait,
See you
mind.
never.
All right, see you never.
Cut it!